But so let's come around to a treatment. Andrographis. Good old Andrographis. It's a Indian herb. It's a Chinese herb. It's got enough use to have had 30 random control studies done on it.
So good.
And basically it cuts the duration of a cold, the intensity of a cold. I mean, both you and I, Phil, could probably talk about the times we've started on our Andrographis, and it's like that hot, sore, irritating thing that's starting up. It's like bang within a few hours normally, and certainly, if you get into the high doses, it really deals with that very well for us.
It does.
So, and there are a couple of specific things about Andrographis and this infection. It does affect how the virus binds onto the ACE, the ACE receptors in the lungs. That's something we could expand on. There's a few other herbs do that are interesting at the moment, but this one does. But on the cytokines side, it has a huge effect on reducing the inflammatory storm, does Andrographis. Why it's quite a cooling kind of herb, anti-inflammatory type of herb. And it's a very effective one for that.
It's kind of interesting in that Andrographis kind of just started off as a digestive herb, right? The king of the bitters.
Ooh.
And
it's bitter, right?
It was, and I think over the last 10 years, it's become so much more than. I mean, I was taught, and this was, I like to say it was long enough ago, but not that long ago, that Andrographis was a big digestive herb. And you had an old cold digestion. Then you would often think of the most bitter herb you could ever give someone. It was either gentian or Andrographis. And
if you're going mildly golden seal, like all of them, pretty tough to take. Yeah, in liquid tinctures, most people just won't.
I'd apologise to my patients who saw me in the first 6 to 8 years of my practice because I relentlessly gave them all Andrographis.
I'm afraid I'm still a bit of a demon on that. I kind of do the little giggle and
it just works, right? It just works. And you know what I would do? I would have a shot with them, just so just to say, hey, I'm with you. But
it's like every morning having that shudder, like there's a particular bitter herbal shudder that you have.
I think though you brought up a great point that it does work. Andrographis is as effective as it looks.
If you look for Andrographis and respiratory tract infections as a quick Google search, you'll find there's a decent study. Like many studies, it's a study of studies. It's a meta study, and of course they put the last thing about they could be better controlled studies and this and that and the other. But the statistics in there are really solid statistics of an effective medicine for acute respiratory tract infections. And so think of it not so much when things are up in the head in the very early stages of a cold, but more once it's coming down into the bronchi and there's that hot, irritating kind of cough that we hearing is the type of cough that people do get with COVID-19. It's a perfect herbal prescription for that. And some of the combinations, we obviously we represent a company here at INL, but there are combinations like Armourforce or the MediHerb one, Andrographis, that are also combine it with a couple of other herbs and accentuate those beneficial effects. So there are products that you don't have to take the dreaded tinctures, and you can eat the pills and a couple of pills 3 times a day. It's easy, So it's good to have. And for those of you who are practitioners and do access our products, do look out for the Armourforce or the MediHerb Andrographis product, because you want to have some of those at least for yourself at home if you're not yet used to using herbs for your patients.
Yeah, it's a great addition to I think any medicine cabinet.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.